Deadlock is a game that combines the fast-paced battles of hero shooters like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals with the complexity of Mobas like Dota or League of Legends. When you first step into the game, the sheer amount of heroes, items and possibilities can be quite overwhelming. But fear not, because in this video we will find a hero for you.
Sounds good.
These are the best characters in Deadlock for new players, based on the games you came from and how you want to play. What's up friends, this is Metro. I've been playing high-level Deadlock for over a year, and today we'll get into what hero you should pick depending on which game you came from. There is a ton of heroes in this game and the choices might be quite overwhelming for you guys, but depending on the games you've played, some characters are better for you than others, and I'll get right into that. Before we start though, I just want to mention this. There is a new game mode called Street Brawl if you haven't played it yet. Depending on when you're watching this, the new heroes might all be released already or will be released very soon. But to get this straight, the new heroes are actually quite complex. They are more advanced characters, and there's easier characters to get into at the start. Now, don't let this discourage you from trying out the new characters. They're all very, very fun. Rem is actually one of the easier characters to get into, but I think there's easier characters to start with. In the end, it comes down to what you want to play. If you want to try out a new hero, just pick it up. Play against bots if you're scared to play against real players, or play the new Street Brawl mode, which is unranked, so you can try out any new hero instantly, fast, and like figure out what's up if they suit you, if they don't suit you. But let's get right into it. And we'll start with you coming from a shooter background. So we're talking classic shooters like Call of Duty, or maybe a hero shooter and you're playing DPS on something like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals. Which hero is the easiest to start with? It is probably Haze. Haze is a character that is very straightforward. She doesn't have a lot of abilities you have to worry about. In fact, one of her abilities is a passive, so you don't even have to use it, which stacks up bullet damage the longer you shoot an enemy. And the rest of her kit is also very straightforward. The ultimate is just an AoE around you where you don't even have to aim, where it's just going to damage enemies around you. You can go invis and you can hit a sleep dart. The reason this hero I recommend is specifically for shooter characters is she does an insane amount of gun damage, and if your aim is really cracked, you're going to perform well instantly with almost no experience. Hitting headshots on Haze is going to double the fixation stacks, double the damage of fixation on your targets, and otherwise it's a character you can get into. You don't really have to worry about the builds as much. Just to get this out of the way, if you are very new and you haven't looked at the build page, the top builds are usually all very, very solid. I recommend you go for a streamer of your choice. You really can't go wrong. Just try out a few different ones. But yeah, Haze is just super straight to get into, easy to pick up, and you don't have to worry about the absolute massive amount of abilities and intricacies that other heroes have. It's a character I started out with when I first came from Overwatch, and while I moved away from Haze after a while, she's still in my repertoire and I still enjoy her a lot. So if you're coming from a shooter background, play Haze. Next up, let's say you play a hero shooter like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, but you are a support player. A lot of supports in other hero shooters are very much based on healing. There is no true classic full heal character in this game, but there are 2 or 3 choices that I'll give you here that come very close to how supports in Overwatch or Marvel Rivals function. And the first one would be the character named Paige. Paige has an ability. The main ability that Paige has, and she starts out with in almost every build, is called Defend and Fight. It gives one of your allies a barrier, which is basically extra HP on top. You can think of this as healing, but also buffing your teammate, giving them more damage, giving them more fire rate. And the rest of her abilities are also very straightforward. You have an area denial tool in Conjure Dragon that will just deal a massive amount of AoE damage in an area. You have an AoE lockdown that will lock an area down and can stop enemies from moving towards you. And the ultimate is also a very straightforward but very cool ability, which sends a rallying charge down the map. It's map wide, and it just sends a bunch of horses forward that stun all the enemies in its line of sight and also heal all your allies in that line of sight. I've seen a lot of players from other games, a lot of my friends that play support in Overwatch come to this game and they really enjoy Paige. She's probably like the most classic healer type of support in this game. There are a lot of other choices for supports in this game. And the second one I can recommend to you, if you want to be a bit more proactive, but still want to heal a lot, is Kelvin. Kelvin has an insanely strong ultimate, one of the strongest ultimates in the game, arguably top 2 ultimate. And what it does is it creates a frozen shelter around you. This frozen shelter is going to heal every one of your teammates inside of it and also slow down the enemies. He has frost grenades that both damage the enemy and when you level them up also heal your allies that you can get on charges, so you can spam multiple of them. And then he has a tool to get around the map fast, which is not super hard to use, called Ice Path, and a beam that slows down enemies in your area that you're using it on. And yeah, again, very straightforward character to get into. Very, very solid, I think, for players that are looking for a true support experience akin to Overwatch or something like Marvel Rivals. And last but not least, for my hero shooter enjoyers that enjoy playing the tank experience. You enjoy playing something like Reinhardt. I recommend a character named Abrams. Abrams is one of the best, most well-known characters in this game. He's probably the face of this game, to be honest. And Abrams is very, very close to how Reinhardt functions in Overwatch. He's just a very beefy, brawly guy that, while he has a very high skill ceiling, is very simple to get into. He has a passive that makes him just tank a lot, and then all his abilities are very straightforward. He has a shoulder charge that can charge the enemy into a wall, like a Reinhardt charge, where you can follow up with heavy melee or shoot them, and then he has an aura around him that drains the enemy, deals damage to the enemy, and gives you life back. And the ultimate, you fly into the sky, and you come down in a massive AoE and stun everyone around you. Abrams, super easy to get into, but again, has a very high skill ceiling, and if you have that like tank heart from hero shooters, I think this is the first character I would recommend you get into. Another option, if you want it even more simple, is Krill. Is also a very tanky character. He really doesn't die because he has an ability called Scorn, which damages everyone around you, and the more enemies that are around you that you damage, the more health you get back. And then he has his other abilities are all very simple to use. He has a Sand Blast that blinds enemies so they can't shoot, they get disarmed. And he has a Burrow, becomes incredibly tanky. And this ultimate is just a big fuck you button to one enemy in specific, where all you have to do is walk up to them, take your hand off the keyboard, enemy can't move, and they are stunned, and your team can eat them alive. So Krill, super simple and straightforward to get into. Next up, let's say you're coming from a Moba, like Dota or League of Legends, and you play carry in those games. Carries in those games, usually the ones that want to farm the most, and there are a lot of characters like that in Deadlock that require a lot of farm but become insanely strong when they are farmed. If you enjoy that kind of safe lane experience, or the bottom lane experience in League, you should go for 7. 7, another face of Deadlock, is a character that starts off pretty weak, but the longer the game goes, the more damage he does. All his abilities have insanely high max level upgrades, so once they are maxed, they do insane amounts of damage. And 7 is really one of those characters that the more and more items he gets, the stronger he becomes, and he scales insanely well into the late game. And in the late game, you can truly become that monster that fights 1v6 in Deadlock and wins. His Power Surge ability does massive AoE damage to everyone on the enemy team. You can do an AoE stun, a big ball of lightning that damages everyone that stands in it, and his ultimate is a storm cloud where you just sit in the sky and watch everyone below you suffer, where they can't shoot back and they just get zapped over and over. So 7, super simple to get into, and probably one of the easiest characters to get into in this game in general, but I would really recommend him for carry players that play something like Dota, because he is really one of those characters like Anti-Mage in Dota, or Terrorblade, that need like a lot of farm to get online, but once they're online, they're truly insane characters, and you can really have that carry power fantasy. While 7 needs quite a lot of aim still to get into, if you're not confident in your aiming and you truly have never played shooters in your life, Victor is a carry that doesn't even require that. His gun is not what makes him strong. The ability that lets him scale insanely well into the late game is called Aura of Suffering, and all you have to do is activate that ability, and what it does is it does damage in an area around you and self-damages you, but all his abilities heal him back up. He has a pain battery that is very easy to hit. Once you hit the enemy with it, once it's max level, it will give you health back, and it comes back the more damage you take, and then he has an ability you just click Jumpstart that heals him back and removes debuffs. And then the ultimate is a passive that will literally just bring you back to life once you die. You let me know in the comments, but there is a guy in Dota that does the exact same thing. And that's Victor. And Victor is really a hard carry in this game, just like 7. But you don't really require a lot of aim. So if you're worried about aiming or worried about your aim not being good enough, but you still want to play a carry and you want to truly enjoy Deadlock, go for Victor. If you are a Moba player and you're coming from a support position 4-5 perspective, which means you want to play a support character that roams a lot, but also has powerful abilities, the number 1 character I would recommend you get into first is Dynamo. Dynamo is very akin to Enigma in Dota, so the ultimate is basically the same. This is called Singularity, which is a black hole, which is the best ultimate in the game. And what it does is it will create a massive area of stun around you for multiple seconds, and everyone in that area is full stunned. And on top of that, Dynamo's abilities that are just super helpful to support your team. Allow you to roam, allow you to gank, allow you to get in and out of fights. There's an ability that lets you teleport yourself or your teammates with you to a new point on the map, away from the enemy, inside the enemy. It allows you to dodge stuns, dodge certain spells, very akin to dodging abilities like in League or Dota. Kinetic pulse, an uppercut that knocks the enemy upwards, lowers their fire rate, lets you get in, lets you get out. And then just an AoE aura of healing around you. So yeah, very simple kit to start with and plays very much like a support character in Dota or League of Legends, because he really doesn't require a lot of farm to get online. There's a few items he wants, like Refresher, where you can do double black hole later down the line in the game, or something like Unstoppable, which is like BKB of Dota. I think the easiest hero to grasp in terms of like playing support in Deadlock. There is no classic support role, there is no defined roles in Deadlock yet, and everyone kind of gets a bit more money, but you can truly like roam around and help everyone on the team with this character. You're not bound to sitting in the jungle and farming all the time, and you also don't require really a lot of aim to get a lot of value out of this character. Now, if you are playing a Moba and you come from the mid lane, so the classic mage caster disruptor type of person, there is a lot of choices in this game. In general, there's a lot of characters that function like mid characters in this game, because every character in this game has so much urgency. But the number 1 pick I came to when I thought of mid players and what mid players enjoy is a character named Paradox. Paradox has a very unique kit with a lot of utility, a lot of different playstyles, and a lot of possibilities, while having a really good gun. The kinetic carabine charges your shot, slows the enemy to a halt, basically stops their movement. She has a time wall, which stops any projectiles that travel through it from the enemy side and slow them down, basically acting like an invulnerability shield for you as long as you AD strafe in it. Kinetic pulse, or the pulse grenade, is a grenade that sits on the ground. You can use it to push waves, farm creep camps, and deal damage to the enemy, and it debuffs the enemy, and the more debuffs there are in the enemy, the more damage you will do to them. And the ultimate is really, really cool. It lets you swap the enemy with you. Kind of like Vengeful Spirit in Dota, where you swap an enemy out of position into your team, and then you get back to your team, place a time wall. And yeah, there's just a lot of cool things you can do with Paradox. Again, I think if you're coming from the mid position in MOBA games, there's gonna be a lot of characters you want to try. You can try. Another character I can recommend is something like Holiday. Very similar character design. But yeah, I love providing educational content, and it really means a lot to me that it resonates with so many people. And with the Deadlock Academy, we are gonna provide the best content on the internet for coaching in Deadlock, period. I offer classes every week to help you climb in no time, and we also have many more courses by hand-picked pro players and pro coaches. And there is really no better people I could think of to help you teach the game to make you a better player. We also do weekly coach scrims where you jump in to improve while just playing the game. Right now there's a 30-day free trial. Just try it out, see how it goes, and I think the results will speak for themselves. In the end, it really comes down to what you enjoy, right? These are the characters I would say that are very easy to understand, depending on the game you came from. Now, if you come from any other type of game, which, welcome, I hope you enjoy the game. Deadlock is super unique, obviously, and Valve really cooked with this latest update. Try everyone out. That's all I can tell you. If you're worried about playing against real people, play against bots, and if you're worried about losing rating in ranked mode, go into Street Brawl, just check out all the character kits. There's so many cool heroes in this game, and there's really something for everyone. Again, my background is a shooter background mostly. I played hero shooters, and I like characters that shoot their gun. So my repertoire is something like I play Haze, I play Seven, I play Wraith, I play Warden. There's a lot of characters that you can really get away with. Building full gun and just using your aim and your positioning to do really well. But on the same page, there's a lot of characters like Pocket that just function as spellcasters, where you can just get away with not having the best aim, but just having a lot of like skill in the Moba sense. Pocket, by the way, very close to Puck in Dota. Teleports around, dodges spells, gets in and out, uses his abilities, gets out for free. But yeah, there's something for everything, and just because a character feels harder on paper, don't be discouraged to try them. You know, in the end, you should play what you enjoy, and I think that's the easiest way to climb. I hope that video was somewhat helpful to give you a good start if you're a new player. If you have any suggestions, any characters I missed that you think are really good for new players, let me know in the comments. And until next time, see you friends, bye bye.